Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We're honored and delighted to have Senator Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, with us this afternoon. Advocacy is the word that comes to mind when you think about Senator Schumer. Advocacy for education, among other bills. He's had some recent successes, like the CHIPS bill and the IRA bill. But he also has authored a bill to provide tax credits to offset the rising cost of college education. He's also a strong advocate for the state of New York. Every year that he's been in the Senate, he's visited every county at least once. And then, most importantly, he's an advocate for what's right for the United States. So without further ado, let me introduce Chuck Schumer, who is here to make an announcement that he also was a pivotal advocate to make happen here at Alfred University.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, President Zupan, and I want to thank you for the nice introduction, and I want to thank everybody who is here today. We have Gabriel Gausted, who you'll hear from soon, one of our great scientists. We like seeing more women scientists, and that's terrific. We have Brooke Harris, county legislator from District 5. Brooke, raise your hand. Are you here? Thank you. Appreciate your being here. We have Dr. Scott Misture. He's the Inamori professor of material science and the principal investigator of the High Temp project we just met a few minutes ago. And David Gottfried, the deputy director of the Center for Advanced Ceramic Technology. So thank you, David, and thank you all for being here on a beautiful Friday afternoon here. So let me just say first, before I start with this wonderful announcement, that Alfred is really a treasure, of course, for Allegheny County, and of course for the Southern Tier, but it's also a treasure for all of America, because the kind of research and expertise on ceramics is unique. And as we learn more and more, as we develop in new ways in technology, that just these kinds of expertise are vital to the future prosperity and national security of our country. And so it's really, I thank everyone here, from the president and the top-notch professors to the administrators, all the way down to keep the people who keep the place clean. So if you're a member of Alfred, one way or another, raise your hands, and thank you all. Thank you all for what you do and what you're doing. Now, today is a great day for Allegheny County and for Alfred University, because I am pleased to announce that Alfred has been awarded a first-of-its-kind $4 million project to partner with the United States Army to help us win the global race in hypersonics. You all read you've all read about hypersonics, and of course it sent us a little bit of a shockwave around when China launched a hypersonic missile, and everyone said, where are we? This is one of the areas in technology we're behind. But hypersonics, as you know, it sounds like something out of Star Wars, right? Who has the light source here that we can, in any case, but you aren't far off, because this research is going to be testing and finding materials, particularly ceramics, that can travel at supersonic speeds that's beyond Mach 5, or as in Brooklyn we call it really effing fast. Right now, as I said, countries like China, countries like Russia, are pouring millions into this kind of research so that they can make faster missiles, and we can't risk falling behind. And Alfred is only one of 2 facilities in the entire country that can do this kind of cutting-edge research, because you have here at Alfred the world's best ceramics program. I asked President Zupan, how did it happen that Alfred became the expert in ceramics? Do you know the story? Do people know? It's sort of interesting that they tried to be a religious college from the Seventh-day Adventists, was it? From the Seventh-day Adventists, but that wasn't working out. So President Teddy Roosevelt, who knew New York State, knew that there was a lot of silica in the soil around here and said, Alfred ought to specialize in ceramics, and here we are. So Roosevelt who was a great man. I have the picture. I have the original John Sargent Singer portrait of Roosevelt, lent by the Library of Congress, above my desk at my office, because I've always admired Teddy Roosevelt, TR as they called him. Anyway, he established it, and now we're only one of 2 in the entire country that does this research. And because of the high temperature you experience when you travel hypersonically, that's nearly 3,000 degrees, you need strong, durable material that can take the heat. And Alfred scientists are going to be the ones to make this discovery. Think about that. Creating a completely new material, the likes of which the world has never seen, literally making one of the strongest, most durable materials ever. It's incredible. And of course it's going to have this military application with hypersonics, but you can be sure it's going to have lots of commercial applications and make our lives better and richer and more productive in ways that you can't even imagine. The funding is going to take Alfred's already world-renowned program and turn up the heat even further, training the next generation of Southern-tier scientists who will make the world-changing discoveries. Not only is this one of the biggest awards that Alfred has ever seen, it represents one of the first major partnerships with the U.S. Army research on this scale, and that's going to prove very productive as well. The fact that the Army is willing to make this investment speaks to the incredibly high caliber of this ceramics department and the research programs right here. And I have good news. As many of you know, I passed something called the Chips and Science Bill last week. It was signed by the President. It was my idea, and we knew that when we invest in science, it pays huge dividends. The original name of the bill, I named it the Endless Frontiers Act, because Vannevar Bush was the Secretary of the Army after World War II, and he wanted a heavy investment in science. He called science the endless frontier, and he said, when we invest in science, it really helps our economy. It did. We invested in NIH, and we have the greatest pharmaceutical industry in the world and healthcare industry in the world. We invested in DARPA and in NSF, and they were the originators of the internet and created the whole tech industry, of course, which we lead the world in as well. So investing in science, that's why I wanted to call it Endless Frontier, but some of my colleagues said, no one knows what you're talking about when you say endless frontier. They thought it was about covered wagons or something like that. So it's now called the Chips and Science Bill. But it's going to pour huge amounts of research dollars into our top universities with great research programs. And I am confident Alfred will benefit from that program as well, as will lots of our other Southern tier universities. Binghamton University, I don't know if you know this, is one of the experts in lithium batteries. There's a Nobel laureate there named Professor Whittington. Is that it? Whittingham. He's English, but he's a professor at BU, Binghamton University, and he won the Nobel Prize for discovering the lithium battery, and there's going to be some real research done and advancements there as well. So, this funding, the funding we're getting today and in later in the Science Act, in the Chips and Science Act, is going to make Alfred the kiln for investing in innovation and spur the next generation of tech to keep our country safe and strengthen our national security. So it's going to have a national security impact and a education, science, and employment impact as well on the civilian side. So it's a good day, and thank you all for being so good at what you do, that you won this grant, and I know the best is yet to come, because your research and what is needed in the world are sort of combining together in a very positive and good way. We have one of the scientists who does a lot of this research here, and she is going to say a few words, and I have to get her title right, and they give me so many papers, I lose them all. Where is it? What'd you do? Ah, here it is, underneath everything. Okay, Gabrielle Gausted is a great, great scientist. She's Dean of the School of Engineering and unit head of the New York State College of Ceramics here at Alfred University. And as I said, very proud to have a top-notch woman as the head of this department. So thank you, Gabrielle. You're on.
Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody for coming today. I just want to echo President Zupan's appreciation and gratitude to Senator Schumer for his tireless advocacy, both for our programs in the past, for this amazing award, and we're really excited to see what we might be able to do in the future as well. I first just want to start off by acknowledging and thanking the core team members of this project. Dr. Scott Mister, who's the principal investigator of this work. Without his expertise and enthusiasm, none of this would have gotten off the ground, so we're thrilled that he's leading this work. And he has an amazing team of engineering faculty helping him, Dr. Holly Schulman, Dr. Junjun Ding, Dr. Kun Wang, Dr. Yichuan Wu, and Dr. Junpeng Zhang. So thank you so much to that team. Thank you also to everyone in the School of Engineering, all of our amazing faculty, staff, all of our students who are supporting this work, and without which, and the amazing team collaborative atmosphere that we have, we wouldn't be able to be doing any of this. So Alfred University and the New York State College of Ceramics have been making innovative contributions to the field of ultra-high temperature ceramics for decades. In the 1970s, NASA reached out to the materials community with a huge challenge. They wanted a material that was super lightweight, super strong, and could withstand exit and re-entry into our atmosphere. This huge challenge brought together engineers and scientists from across the globe, and the technological and scientific breakthroughs that happened right here at Alfred University paved the way for the first successful shuttle launch in 1981. Today, we have new challenges, but along the same lines. We need to discover, characterize, and manufacture a new generation of materials that can handle even more extreme temperatures. We're really quite fortunate to have a suite of very unique characterization equipment that can start to address this and be able to look at the properties of these materials in these extreme temperature environments. And when we say hot around here, we mean really hot. These materials need to be able to withstand temperatures up to 3,500 Celsius, well over 6,000 degrees Fahrenheit. It's not going to be easy to make these materials either. We have to come up with some very novel processing. It's almost impossible to machine a very, very strong, high-temperature, sintered ceramic material. So we're very likely going to have to lean on some new innovative ways to make these materials using additive manufacturing and digital fabrication techniques. Our brand new renovated space, which we're just above on our first floor here, which we're taking occupancy of very shortly in the next couple weeks, was designed with these challenges and this focus in mind. So this amazing infrastructure that we have, this incredibly unique set of characterization equipment, and then the processing know-how and expertise of our faculty, staff, and students all combined together make Alfred University and the New York State College of Ceramics an incredible, unique home to house this new project. We couldn't be more excited to get started with it. Thanks everybody for coming today.